In these tutorials, we will use Illustrator and a Pathfinder tool to create some complex shapes from some basic primitives. We're going to start by creating a folder icon using some rounded rectangles. The instructions may say start with an 800 by 600 web page, but we are going to try putting everything on an A4 page in order to put several items onto the same scene. So we'll start by making two rounded rectangles on an A4 page. Switching to Illustrator here, I go to File, New, I make sure A4 is chosen, I make sure Landscape is chosen, and I click on OK. And this creates my A4 page to work with. I think it's always helpful to have the side panels popped out so we can choose colours and see what we're doing. To get a rounded rectangle, we need to have a shape tool. If I hold in the rectangle tool here, it pops out a list of various shapes, and I can come across to the tear off, let go, and that will pop out all of my shape tools. And then I'm going to choose rounded rectangle. When I start to draw a rounded rectangle, I can change how rounded the corners are using the up, down, left and right arrows. If I press up, it goes as rounded as it can. Down makes it as, up goes slightly more rounded. Down makes it less rounded. Left makes it completely unrounded, as in a square corner, and right completely rounded. So I think we want something that's maybe a little bit rounded, like so. That is the tab of our folder. We're then going to do another one. If I use the guides to line up the green line here, and then make sure that my folder is approximately A4 dimensions, so about 2 by 3 in terms of height and width, something like that. I'm then going to use the black pointer tool, which is my direct selection tool, and I'm going to move the tab down. Now, if I just moved it to here, you'll see there will be a kink on the corner. So I want to move until the two things are overlapping and there will be no gap at the edge here. I'm then going to go to Window, Pathfinder, and switch on the Pathfinder palette. At the moment, if I try to use these, they won't work because I have nothing selected. So again, with my black pointer tool, I need to drag a box around both of these. The bounding rectangle goes around both pieces at the same time. And I'm going to use Unite, which is the first of the Pathfinder joining tools. So that has created me a folder outline. I then like it to make it look a bit more like a folder, so I'm going to come across to my swatches. I could obviously choose colours from here, but I only get the main swatch colours. So the colour palette over here will give me more control. I start by choosing yellow. Now this yellow is too strong, so I can use the sliders here to make a lighter yellow, what we call a manila colour. And that is my folder. It's not looking particularly impressive at the moment, so I'm going to add a special effect. I click on the folder. I come down to Appearance, down at the bottom right-hand corner, and I use the FX tool here. So FX allows me to apply an effect to the chosen shape. And what I'm looking to do, we're concentrating on these top effects because these are vector as opposed to the Photoshop effects, which are bitmap. And what I want to do is to stylize and give it a drop shadow. Now I can't really see what I'm doing unless I switch preview on. So if I click on preview, we will see that a black outline, a grayish outline has appeared below the folder. We can change how strong that outline is. I can make it more transparent, or I can make it very, very strong indeed. I'm going to go for about maybe 80%. We can also then change the offset. The offset is X and Y, how far away the shadow goes. So again, I can increase the X offset to move it to the right. I can increase the Y offset to move it down. And that gives it a much more 3D feel. We can also choose the color of the shadow. So if I wanted something that was a bit closer to my manila, as if it was reflecting off of it, I could choose a darkish manila there, and that would then become my shadow. I think probably it looks better with something black. Notice when I'm choosing colors, I can snap to only web colors, and that makes maybe the choice a bit easier. And there we have our web folder.